Look at any thriving society, and you will run into three specific questions. Why does the government collect taxes? How do those funds actually help citizens? And how does taking that money away impact individuals and businesses? Taxation is the primary engine of public finance. It is the specific mechanism a state uses to convert individual private wealth into shared national infrastructure and services. This creates a direct tension. Every cedi collected from a citizen's paycheck helps build the nation, but it simultaneously removes that capital from private hands. This represents a recurring challenge for governments attempting to fund long-term development without slowing the economic activity they rely on. Let's examine the deliberate advantages of taxation. First, there is revenue generation and the provision of public goods. Taxes provide the necessary funds for essential services that the private sector cannot or will not adequately provide on its own. When we look at large-scale infrastructure projects, like the construction and maintenance of multi-lane highways and interchanges in Ghana, we are seeing tax revenue actively at work. That same revenue directly sustains human capital. It funds public healthcare systems and educational institutions, ensuring citizens have access to vital medical care and schooling. This diagram illustrates wealth redistribution through progressive taxation. By taxing higher earners at higher rates, the state generates capital to support social programs that benefit lower income groups, working to reduce income inequality. Taxes also act as tools for economic stabilization and behavioral change. A government can use targeted tax incentives to steer private investment toward national priorities, like building out renewable energy infrastructure. These tax policies function as architectural tools, using capital to build a more equitable, resilient state. But that system carries inherent friction. Collecting those funds introduces administrative complexity and cost. Managing compliance requires an expensive bureaucracy, and complex rules often incentivize businesses and individuals to hide their revenue to avoid payment. This flowchart illustrates economic distortion. High corporate taxes can drive away foreign investment and force less efficient resource allocation. Similarly, if personal income tax rates climb too high, individuals may not seek higher-paying positions or work overtime, reducing overall economic output. Certain tax policies have a regressive impact, disproportionately affecting vulnerable populations. The value-added tax, or VAT, on consumer goods is a primary example. This chart shows why a flat tax on basic necessities is regressive. Even though the monetary amount is identical for everyone, it consumes a massive percentage of a low-income earner's survival budget, while representing only a tiny sliver of a wealthy earner's income. Pause the video. If a new tax builds a road but raises food prices, identify one advantage and one disadvantage. Take a moment to think. When these policies are poorly calibrated, they can penalize the vulnerable and stifle the exact economic engine the state is trying to fuel. Let's map these realities. On one side, revenue, redistribution, stabilization, positive incentives, and public goods. On the other, economic distortion, complexity, evasion, negative impacts, and regressive burdens. This is a central paradox. The same legislative action can secure vital funding while pushing citizens towards evasion. For your final portfolio assignment, consider this tension. How can governments minimize these negative economic effects while still maximizing the necessary benefits? The objective is to maintain a functional economy where businesses can operate and citizens can prosper. As you continue studying public finance, look closely at your own community through this lens. Evaluate how local tax policies interact with your daily life, and consider the real-world trade-offs behind the services you use.